Welcome back to 843 TV. We are now joined by Michael Jordan, who is the Athletic Director for the Jasper County School District. Michael, how are you today?
I'm doing great, and thank y'all all very much for having me here.
Oh, absolutely, man. We're happy to have you. So tell us about yourself, a little bit about your background, and how you ended up in this position as Athletic Director for the Jasper County School District.
I've been teaching and coaching for 28 years. I've done it in several different places. Started in Virginia, been in North Carolina. This is my second time back to South Carolina. Coach a little bit of everything except for cheerleading and things of that nature, but I've been at the junior high level, middle school level, and now the high school level. The way I found this job, I just happened to see an email, and it was the second posting of the job. And I never gave consideration the first time around. And it was something that I wanted to get into more than just the coaching part, because I do have a master's in administration from Gardner-Webb University. And I found it on the internet, and I was blessed enough to land this job.
So in addition to being out here informing the public about all this, what are your other duties as athletic director?
Well, I feel my number one duty is for the safety and protection of our student athletes and our coaches. That's number one. And that's some of the things I've been doing, is looking at how we can do a better job of that. We already do a great job, but there's always ways you can do better. And then also I feel my job is to protect the district athletically, to make sure we're doing everything we're supposed to do, following all the guidelines, making sure we're following the South Carolina high school rules and regulations, because you can't be a champion if you don't play by the rules.
Oh, yeah.
And so those are my main responsibilities.
Great. Well, I tell you, I'm enjoying telling my relatives that I interviewed Michael Jordan. So I'm happy to be here too.
And so what are your goals as athletic director?
My goals are very high. I set the bar very high, and I truly believe that when you set expectations high, the coaches will reach that and our student athletes will reach that. My number one goal is for us to be the best athletic department that we can be. And then I want to be the best athletic department in our region. We're going into a very tough athletic region, but I think we can be the very best in that region. I want to be the best in the low country. And the highest expectation I got is the best in the 2A classification and the best in the state of South Carolina. We already have coaches in place, and the student athletes are there to do that. We just have to come together and make sure we work together as a team, and that's part of my job.
So what size school puts you in 2A? What is the population?
It changes every year, and that's why every 2 years we switch. And when I came from North Carolina, it was every 4 years they switch, but here you switch every 2 years. And the numbers are vary depending on each year. What they do is they take the 135-day admit day to see how many kids are in that on that day, and that's how they determine that.
And how many students do you have? How many athletes?
We're right about 700 to 800 right now at the high school.
Okay.
And you mentioned safety earlier. I know, especially with football, that's become a huge hot topic in the national media.
Yes, sir.
With the concussions and that sort of thing. I mean, I assume y'all take every precaution to protect the kids who come out and play.
Yes, sir. In fact, what we just did, we just sent our high school helmets back to be reconditioned. Some people say you can send them back every 2 years. I don't believe in that. I had a son play for me, and I'm not going to put one of our kids in a helmet that I wouldn't put my son in. My son's 22 years old now, but still, I wouldn't do that. And then we're going to turn around when they bring our helmets back for the high school, we're going to send our middle school helmets on. Because there's things happen to those helmets you can't see with the naked eye. And that's part of our event. We want to make sure our equipment is top notch.
That's great.
So speaking of football players, I understand there's an outstanding football player named DJ Myers who recently committed to play football for Limestone College. Is that correct?
DJ is an outstanding young man. He's an excellent ambassador of the Jasper County School District. I had a chance to meet him briefly when he was signing, and that's a special moment, not just for the kid, for the family the parents. So I made sure that I congratulated his mother who was there, because people don't realize that it's just not that student athlete. There's a support group around him, the parents, the family, his coaches, the teachers at the school, Miss Karen Parker and her administrative team. All that goes into getting these kids prepared to go to the next level. And he's a heck of an athlete. He's a heck of an athlete.
He's a quarterback?
He's a quarterback, but that young man can play receiver, DB. He can do pretty much what he wants to do.
He's diverse.
Yes, he's very diverse, and which is good in our society nowadays, to be diverse.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of being diverse, I mean, you have to have academics as well as athletics to get a scholarship. So, as an athletic director, how do you press upon your students to not only take their athletics seriously, but also their academics? And how do you mesh the two?
Well, my whole thing is they go hand in hand. Our coaches are teachers. So when our teachers have lesson plans in the classroom, our coaches have practice plans. And it's the same thing. They have to be able to model what they want their student athletes to learn, just like the teachers model what they want the students to learn in the classroom. To me, our playing fields, our practice fields, our playing courts and practice courts are extensions of the classroom. If we're going to hold a kid accountable for his character and the language he uses in the classroom, we need to do the same thing on the athletic field. And that's one of the things that I want to do, because I think academics is very important. I was one who was a pretty good ball player, but I didn't take the academics as seriously. And it cost me going to a bigger school. I went to a great school in Livingstone because I got that one-on-one attention, but it cost me a little bit. But I think they go hand in hand, and that's my biggest concern, is making sure we're making improvements academically, and we're doing that. We're doing that. We've got an academic advisor. She checks, makes sure they're in study hall. She checks their grades every week, and then we're going to put in some policies where if the kids are not meeting those requirements, then there's going to be some things that they have to suffer.
Yeah. Well, it's a lesson that everybody learns in life. You just want them to learn it as soon as possible.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
I know it took me a little while to learn it too.
Yeah, I don't feel alone.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. That's some great information, and we can tell that the Jasper County athletic system is in really good hands, and good luck to you the rest of the year.
If there's anything I can do, please feel free to call me, 843-717-1180, or you can reach me by email, mjordan@jcsd.net.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. Be sure to join us next time for more 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.